Opinion we're tracking before we get into that Jackson Hole summit, but also since we're talking about the global markets, let me also take you through what European markets did. They ended Wednesday's trading session quite mixed. So the French CAC index gained around 24 points at the close. The German DAX index was also up on your screen, so that saw gains of around 0.2%, and the FTSE closed around 16 points lower. Remember that along with all of the commentary that we are watching from the Jackson Hole symposium, later investors today will also be tracking minutes from the European Central Bank's July meeting. So that's another important global cue that you should keep in mind. But that's everything that's happening globally. Let's talk about what you should track as far as our own markets are concerned as well. We have Sonia as well as Mangalam joining us now to take you through exactly that and to prep you up for this trading session. Guys, a very good morning to both of you. And Sonia, let me come across to you first. Global markets at least looking slightly better today.
So the US markets ended with marginal gains. So they ended the 3-day slide, and on that context, definitely global markets are looking better than what we've seen in the last couple of trading sessions. The Dow had a gain of about 60 odd points. Now, as we know, the Jackson Hole Symposium begins today, and all eyes will be on the kind of commentary with respect to combating inflation, what happens to the rate hikes, all of that. But in terms of macro data, we're also watching out for the US jobless claims that come out later today. And you have the personal spending data that comes out tomorrow, so all eyes will be on that. Now, Brent crude has been rising, so that's a bit of a concern for markets like ours. Brent is back closer to $102 a barrel on concerns that the US will not consider an additional concession to Iran. So keep that in mind as well. Now, the Nifty has reclaimed that 17,600 mark. It ended in the green. The markets, in fact, closed at the high point for the last two trading sessions. The flows have dried up a bit, but in that context, you'd have to say that this is definitely a buy on dips market. So even if we start off in the red today, perhaps there could be buying in individual stocks. Back to you.
All right, so let's see how the trading session pans out after perhaps we do start in the green. But Sonia, also take us through some of the individual stocks that we should keep on our radar as we get into this trading session.
So I'm watching out for Bharti Airtel first up this morning, as the Bharti Telecom, which is the Airtel promoter, will continue to be the main vehicle holding Airtel's controlling shares. Bharti Telecom is jointly held by Bharti and Singtel, and the Singtel agreement indicates that Bharti will further strengthen its shareholding in Airtel and continue to be the main vehicle holding Airtel's controlling shares there. Apart from that, Torrent Pharma is in the news on reports that the company is looking to acquire skincare company Curatio Health for 2,100 crores. So that, that's of course reports that are suggesting that. NHPC has signed an MOU with the Rajasthan government for an ultra-mega renewable energy park. PSP projects is in focus as they've been awarded contracts worth almost 250 crores from the various government segments. Eris Life Sciences is in focus as the company is looking for an acquisition to grow beyond its cardio-diabetes portfolio. And Lupin finally has acquired brands Ondero and Ondero Met from Boehringer International for 26 million euros in cash. So these are a couple of stocks I'm looking at.
All right, Sonia, thanks a lot for running us through that entire list. Let's also bring Mangalam in now. He's looking at all of the cues from the FNO space. Mangalam, we've been talking about the global cue so much, but let's not forget it's also expiry day. So take us through everything we should track.
It is August series expiry day today, but yesterday, for most part of the trading session, the indices were meandering around the flat line. But come the last hour, we did see a big spike in the Nifty Bank, and as a result of which the Nifty ended mildly higher. The Nifty Bank a little more so. And now to start the August series expiry session, we have the SGX Nifty indicating a start 80 points in the green. The important part, however, is that Nifty has rallied almost 675 points in the August series. This after rallying over 1,000 points in July series as well. So over the last couple of series, we've seen an 1,800 point rally. Let's see whether that momentum continues or not. The big factor of that is the FII's buying in cash market. Yesterday, the purchase was extremely mindful, small at minuscule at around 23 odd crores. But importantly, they've been unwinding their long positions in index futures for the last few trading sessions. So yesterday, they sold almost 1,300 odd crores, and there was almost 13,000 long contracts being unwound in index futures itself, as a result of which their long positions have now trimmed to just around 45% after breaching that 50% mark in yesterday's trading session. Ahead of expiry, the FIIs, the good part is that they've written close to around 50,000 short puts. So that's telling you that lower levels we are finding support. Yesterday as well, the market bounced almost 100 points from 17,500. The previous trading session, the 20-day moving average acted as an important support, and that will be a support today as well. But just for today's trading session, opinion, the writers are active at both the 17,600 call as well as the 17,600 put. Put together, the premium on both of them is close to around 120. So maybe smart money is playing for an expiry range anywhere between 17,480 to 17,720. The other active options are 17,550 put, which is indicating a support around that 17,500 mark, and the 17,700 call if the market breaches past that 17,600, 17,650 sort of mark. Importantly, at the lower level, the 20-day moving average has now moved higher to 17,432, and that's telling you that the support has also moved higher.
All right, Mangalam, thanks a lot for getting us all of those cues that we should track as far as the F&O space is concerned. But with that, we're going to get into our first short break on the show. Up next, like we told you, Airtel promoter Bharti Telecom to